Hello, this is KiwaniTalk. My name is Ray Scaboria. I'll be your host for this evening's program. KiwaniTalk is a public information program brought to you from the facilities of WDHS at Dearborn High School by members of the Dearborn Kiwanis Club, our director, and students that help us in taping the shows. Today, for our guest, we're very pleased to have Major Jeffrey Carr from our local Salvation Army Citadel up there on Warren between,
Beach Daily and
Inkster. I just can't spit it out. It's the old brain. Jeffrey, why don't you give us just a little background, and bring us up to date in a few minutes about your coming, what you did previously to coming here, and then what you've done since you got to Dearborn Heights.
Great. So I've been with the Salvation Army since 2000, and I started in fundraising and financial development. And then in a series of jobs, I then about 18 years ago started to do what I do now, which is lead local Salvation Army units as an officer. Prior to coming to the Detroit area, we lived in Kingston, Jamaica, where I worked in finance and administration for the eastern half of the island of Jamaica and all the work that the Salvation Army does there. And then we were transferred to the Dearborn Heights Center, which helps the community in western Wayne County. And my family and I live in Livonia, and I have children in the Livonia Public Schools.
Okay. I'll bet your sons, I know one of them got his driver's license recently. Okay. So I imagine when they were in Jamaica, they got pretty good at picking up the language and imitating it a little bit. I bet they can do that if they feel like it.
So my youngest son did pick up some patois, and as an American, you could hear it better than you could repeat it that you were able to be understood.
I see.
So we could hear it, but not necessarily speak the patois. But everyone speaks the Queen's English in Jamaica, so it wasn't too much of an issue.
Just with a little accent, that's all.
Just with a little accent, that's right, that's right.
Well, how about now if we talk about what the Dearborn Heights Salvation Army does in the community, and just to give a survey of the activities that are provided to the clients during the year.
Well, we help our community in need and those who are seeking food and shelter. We have programs in various ways that can help support them in finding a place to stay, helping them get into a hotel for the evening. If they need a residential program, we have centers in the city where they can go to and be a part of a residential program. We help with food and as a pantry, so people can drive up to our building and they don't even have to get out of their car. We'll put a box together for the size of their family and place it right into their trunk. We also have many programs that help people move beyond their immediate need so that they can be successful in the future. And that takes various different paths depending on each individual family and what their need is.
Yeah, actually, I was restrictive. I know that your service area is larger than Dearborn Heights. It includes, can you just go through the communities that you try and provide service to?
So we serve Redford, Dearborn, Dearborn Heights, Garden City, and Livonia. And so that piece of Wayne County is our service area. However, we have programs that extend past that. We have a grant through Detroit Edison Power where we help people from across Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne County with funding to help get through their immediate needs so that they have heat in their house.
I know I've been, I'm on what's it called, the community board, for your Citadel, and so I've heard some of the programs discussed, at the meetings, and it amazes me some of the areas you get into. Like if somebody's furnace goes out, you may be able to assist them to get it running again, one way or another.
Absolutely. Or if they have a car that's broken down and they need to get to a job interview. So it really is specific to the individual and based on need. So they'll sit down with our caseworker and they'll show them all the necessary items that will identify what their need is. Because many times people come to us with one specific thing that is right in front of them, but there are more than that, and that goes deeper. And so we're able to, with the assistance of the caseworker, get through to what is actually needed and how can we help them more than just today, but beyond and into the future.
Maybe to eventually work their way out of some of these problems that have developed.
Absolutely. And we have a program that's called Pathway of Hope. And it's really designed so that individuals and families can move beyond having consistent immediate needs to where they are sustainable and can actually provide for themselves and their family.
I know you also have a number of youth programs. Can you describe those a little bit? I know there's certain sports and so on that...
We do have some sporting activities to try and instill confidence in kids, give them a safe place with encouraging adults that can help them become better lives, enriched lives. We also have programs that teach art and other opportunities that would help them develop their skills and broaden their life. And we have our summer camp program, which is amazing. So we have a camp just outside of Leonard, Michigan, and we send kids for sports camp and music camp and adventure camp. And so they get to spend a week at a sleepaway camp with counselors who will pour into them and give them experience with a lake and a pool and programs. And give the parents a week break.
When parents have the kids come home for the summer, they sometimes need a break.
That's right. So, and honestly, there are many of the kids that come to us where they don't have a sustainable meal program during the summer months, because they get their meals at school, but maybe not during the summer. It's not as consistent. So those programs that we provide also give these kids enrichment in that way.
I see. Now, what would be what are the sports programs you have, the major ones that I guess you must set up teams and have competitions and that sort of thing?
We have done more in the past. But there's basketball and soccer, volleyball, and this year we introduced pickleball. It's so popular. Yeah.
I've heard about I'm trying to think what pickleball is like. It's sort of a cross between handball and tennis or something.
Right.
Like that.
Or some people say a cross between ping pong and badminton.
Okay. Well, it's a little higher velocity than badminton, I believe.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, what is a wiffle ball? So it does slow down a bit.
Okay, so
but we can play that indoors or outdoors. And so in our gymnasium, we can set up 2 pickleball courts and have, teams. So 8 people could be playing at the same time.
There's a lot of people that watch this show that might not be aware, but you have a big gymnasium. I mean, it's about a full-size basketball court, isn't it? Pretty close.
It's considered a middle school size court.
Middle school,
but
okay. Yeah. And it serves multiple purposes.
It does.
Not just sports.
We have community dinners, and in that same space during December, we'll set up what we call Toy Shop. And so families come in and register with our caseworkers, and then the parents will be able to come through and pick out toys for their children that they can then give them on Christmas Day. And we have those toys are from our Angel Tree program, where people at local stores can pick up their angel off the Salvation Army tree, purchase gifts for that child, and then bring them back. And then we put them together so that the families can come in and have a better Christmas than they would be able to on their own.
A lot of churches, I go to the Presbyterian church, Cherry Hill Presbyterian, and we do stuff like that, but it's on a much smaller scale than the Salvation Army. And I believe when those parents come in, they're coming in for hundreds of kids.
They do. And churches and community centers, house of worships across the area are partner with us.
Sure. Now, as you know, our church also has a food pantry, but again, it's not nearly as extensive as yours, you know. And you have meals, I believe you have, is it senior meals you have sometimes?
We do have senior meals that are on location. So it'd be like a luncheon or a dinner in our facility.
You have a nice kitchen and everything to prep food and all that.
We do have a commercial use kitchen. And also during the power outages of last winter, and any time that may happen, we have our emergency disaster services that have delivered meals to different complexes or individuals.
Do you have any emergency power generation capability?
We do at our facility.
You do?
It runs 90% of our building.
Okay.
And that was.
Yeah, that would be during a time when the electricity's out in the area, you're going to have people come by for one thing or another, probably food.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so one of the big things that comes up every year, and it's one of the major fundraising programs, which is the bell ringing program.
Yes.
And that's quite the extensive program. And I know because I participated in it for a number of years. And of course, anybody in the Salvation Army has participated in it because it's a lot of work.
It is. Logistically, it is a lot of work, but it is our major fundraising. So in those 6 weeks that we put the kettles out, we generate a good portion of our budget. And so it is very important.
Yeah. And I know that there's a number of locations that you have that you can set up the sign and the bucket, as we have here, and but they each have to be serviced for each of the volunteers.
They do.
Which means taking a bucket out and picking up the one that was there.
That's right. That's right. So again, we have individuals and community groups and government. We have the fire department, police departments that'll take a day and ring for us. And so each individual bucket and the cash and checks that's donated then get counted and put in the bank each night. And we also have digital ways to give to the Salvation Army and through our website and Facebook and different avenues that people can give to us.
Just the logistics of that, it's something you have to grow into, I'm sure, because I'm sure you have people that are very efficient at counting, because the counting is not simple. I'm sure you have machines and whatever it takes, but it's not just one bucket. It's,
right.
25 or so buckets a night.
Right, just for our location.
And when I say a night, that's, yeah. Well, Major Carr, we're going to take a little break for about a minute for a small KiwaniTalk commercial.
Okay.
And we'll be back right after that with Major Carr.
Hi, I'm Commissioner Ken Hodder, National Commander of the Salvation Army. Christmas is a time for us to come together, to help others in need. That's really what the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign has been about for more than 130 years. Ever since that first kettle was set out on the wharves of San Francisco by Captain Joseph McPhee, the Red Kettle has become a way for communities to join together and love their neighbors in need, beyond circumstances, beyond economic challenges, beyond political differences, and even beyond the pressures of the holiday season itself. It's been shown that, on average, a volunteer at a Salvation Army Red Kettle can bring in enough money in one day to feed 185 people, or provide Christmas gifts to an entire family, or even pay someone's overdue utility bill, which will keep a family in their home. So your commitment to ring the bell at a Salvation Army Red Kettle will help to raise vital funds, funds that provide emergency shelter, food, childcare, rental assistance, addiction recovery services, Christmas presents for the tree, and a whole lot more. So reach out to your local Salvation Army, call them, or go online and sign up to ring a Red Kettle bell this season. Do it as a family, as a church group, with your friends from work, or even just do it by yourself. I promise that the joys of participating in this work will be immeasurable. Thank you for joining Love's Army and for loving your own neighbors in need beyond whatever struggles they may face. Merry Christmas, and God bless you.
Hello, we're back on KiwaniTalk with Major Jeffrey Carr from our local Salvation Army Citadel in Dearborn Heights. And we're going to talk now about the bell ringing. You can ring the bell and I'll make the deposit, okay?
Thank you so much, Ray.
Oh, we're going to do that a few times.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go into a little more detail about the bell ringing. The one thing I want to point out, and we'll put this on the air here, is ring bell. Let's see, it's ringbell.org, isn't it?
Ringbell.org.
www.ringbell.org.
Yeah, or register to ring.
Or okay, and on those sites you can see all of the locations. You can pick your general community.
Yeah, so you can put in your zip code and it'll show you all the opportunities that you can volunteer for. And you can select a 2-hour or more time slot and location that you would like to do. If there's something on there that you don't see, you're always welcome to call us and we can see how we can work around that. So we do have specific sites of corporate partners that allow us to put a kettle and have a ringer out there. And so if one of those sites is available, we'd love to have you come out and help raise funds for the community.
Well, as you know, I've been doing this myself for a while. How about ringing that bell again for me?
There you go.
I've got a handful here, but we're going to put it all in during the show.
That's right. Well, every dollar helps, Ray. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about the areas. Say in your area, you have a certain number of locations where you ring the bell. Approximately how many is that?
Well, when we're able to have all of our kettles out, it's about 18 locations in our service area. Of course, across the Metro Detroit area, there are hundreds.
Oh, many more.
So each corporate partner has a different start time. So we will begin this Friday, next Friday, the 11th. So November 11th was our first kettles, and you'll see a few of them in the area. And then the Friday after Thanksgiving, you'll see a few more. And then the Monday after Thanksgiving, everything should be fully up and running. And of course, we thank our corporate partners for every day they allow us to ring.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I think more than 10 years. It could be 15 years. I don't know. I can't count because I know there used to be, what they call it, there used to be I bring in the Kroger, it's called Kroger South. There used to be a Kroger North. And I rang there for quite a while until they closed it. Then I went to the Kroger South. And I have this condition called Raynaud syndrome, where the ends of my fingers go numb.
Okay.
But they let you ring in the lobby.
Yes, Kroger has been very kind to let our people ring between the doors. Yeah. And so if you want to come out to Kroger South on Michigan Avenue and hear some Christmas ukulele music, Ray is your guy.
I do have people asking me about it, you know. No one's threatened me yet, so I guess they put up with it.
There you go.
It was interesting. Christine at your offices there, I went in and I gave her my dates, you know. And she said, "Are you going to play the ukulele again?" I said, "Yeah." And she says, "Oh, my daughters always ask, we'd like to hear the ukulele man." You know? But you know, it goes so much faster when you're doing that, because I alternate between the ukulele music and I sing, and then I have a Michael Bublé Christmas CD, so I alternate. But I found that if I sing and do the Michael Bublé tape alternately 3 times, that's almost 4 hours.
Wow,
And,
that's amazing.
And what happens is I get singing the songs a couple times, you know. But you know, one thing that's really frustrating is when I was young, you could memorize stuff. You'd play it a few times, you can memorize it. I can't memorize them. I have to have the chords. I can't remember them. I have to see them there.
Well, anything that can draw attention to the kettle will always generate more giving.
Yeah.
So if I had a kettle with no one there, it does not get very many donations.
Yeah.
But if someone's there and they have a ukulele and they're singing, that's a good day for us.
Yeah. I think we need to ring the bell.
All right.
Okay, here we go. I'm a little more aggressive when I ring the bell. Some of the bells, when you're at a location, sometimes there's more background noise.
Yes.
And the bell, it's hard to hear the bell sometimes, you know. But actually, I like the foyer there, the exit foyer at Kroger, because you're not irritating people in the store very much. The sound is low level in the store, you know, because the doors keep opening and closing, but, you know, it's interesting. Just as long as the ones on the outside close. You know, sometimes they get stuck, you have to help them.
So the cold wind coming in.
Well, what are some of the other locations?
So we ring at Kroger's, at Joe's Produce, at Bush's, at J.C. Penney's. You'll see us sometimes at Ace Hardware's and Walmart in Livonia and Dearborn.
Yeah, I should mention that I'm in the Kiwanis Club, obviously, and other members of the club ring. I think they've signed up for 2 full days. Not the evening, but I think I'm ending up on the evening, so, you know.
Yeah, anytime a community group helps us out, it's always more donations. Yeah. So they, you know, especially if they bring multiple people, or if they know people from the community, and they can say, "Oh, Joe, good to see you. Would you like to make a donation?"
Actually, he's not here yet, but the other host that is does shows here, and he'll be here a little later. He comes to the Kroger every night. He's there.
Okay.
Every night. He and his wife both. So I'll see them every night during the bell ringing time, you know. Salvation Army people must mostly be picking up and administering the operation, because it's a lot of work.
It is. So not only do we have volunteers that help us stand at a kettle, but we also have volunteers that help us with the logistics in either driving or helping to count and to put the money into at the bank, and helping to organize getting everything ready or afterwards. So without volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, because it is a lot of logistics. And you learn tricks each year. You get a little bit better. In each community, you kind of do best practices, so you can figure out how to be efficient and then to get out what needs to be done. Yeah,
I like to. I bought an inexpensive little set of battery-powered lights, and I like to wrap them around the sign. I think it makes it look a little festive.
That's right. Anything to draw attention to the kettle. That's right. So, one store that I did forget that we also are able to ring at is Joe Randazzo's on Telegraph and Joy. So that's one of our better locations there.
That's a good location, because that store.
But that one is not inside, so it gets a little cold.
I just wouldn't be able to do it outside.
Yeah.
The first night is what, a week from Friday?
A week from Friday, November 11th, is when you'll see our first kettles go out. And then as the season picks up, there'll be more and more as each corporate partner and their agreement allows us to be on property. And so the Monday after Thanksgiving will be out in full force.
How about a little bell ringing there? We'll get another deposit going here. Get people
All
in
right,
the,
thank you.
Get our viewers in the mood.
That's right. That's right. And everything is helpful to us. And it's a great way to teach philanthropy to kids. So if you have a child and you give them $1 to put into the kettle, then you can explain how they're helping people by donating.
Yeah, it seems like almost every family that goes through with children, if they donate, it's the child that puts the money in the
That's right. And that's an important
piece. The kids, sometimes the kids won't let their parents go by without making a donation.
Well, I'm thankful for that. But that's an important piece for our American culture is philanthropy. My wife and I have served in Europe and on the island Jamaica, and Midwesterners are very generous people, and so we're just thankful for every dollar that we receive.
Of the major charities that serve in the areas that you serve, the Salvation Army has a pretty good reputation for efficiency.
We try as hard as we can to get the most out of every dollar, and we keep our overhead as low as we can so we can help more people.
Yeah. Well, we got about 2 minutes, a couple minutes to go here. Let's remind people of the two websites where you can sign up to ring the bell. Let's remind them of those.
So Register to Ring and ringdells.org are the two websites. And you can look up the Salvation Army, Dearborn Heights, and there'll be links of our website as well. So our Metro Detroit area goal this year is $7.9 million. Now that sounds like a lot, but there's also a lot of need. And so part of the funds that we raise locally here is part of that total, but every dollar that is donated to our kettles in Redford, Garden City, Livonia, Dearborn Heights, and Dearborn stays in our community and goes to help the people who live in our community. And so that our campaign this year is called Love Beyond Christmas, because there's need all through the year. And so this is such an important piece for us to serve people all year long.
Well, Major, you're going to have to ring the bell again, and we'll finish this up. I'll put the last in here, but just make sure. I like to see my total at the end of the year. So.
Oh, absolutely, and most people do. Ray, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and your donations.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on KiwaniTalk, and I hope you'll join us again soon.